August 25th regular meeting of the Jamaica Selectboard. It is Monday at 7:03 p.m. The first order of business is a call for any late additions to the agenda. And other than an executive session, which we will have, what did you have to add?
I wanted to add that Colin Bratton from Windham Regional Commission is here to pitch an idea, so to speak, for some engineering work on the Depot Street Bridge. Not the State Park Bridge, but the concrete bridge. I don't know the number actually, but anyways, we'll get that, and we'll get you close to the top of the list, Colin.
Yes. Seeing no other additions, the next order of business is to approve the minutes for the August 11th regular meeting. I will make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion of the minutes? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 I'll abstain.
Hi, Kate. Thank you. That wasn't very slow, was it?
It was great.
Perfect, Justin. All right, since we have Colin visiting from Windham Solid Waste with an idea.
No, Windham Regional.
Windham Regional, not like, right, Windham
That's
Solid
the next
Waste
item.
is the next item.
Okay.
With respect to a very pressing matter for the town.
So I'll introduce Colin, like I just did, I guess, but Colin gave me a call a week or two ago regarding an opportunity to have some engineering and scoping work done for one of our bridges in town by some UVM civil engineering students. So I'll let you take it away and explain more about what that is.
Yes. Okay. Can you hear me? All right.
Yes.
Okay. Great. So as Greg said, I'm, Colin Bratton. I work for the Windham Regional Commission. We have worked with Jamaica in the past on a variety of transportation, initiatives. And so, I guess I can keep this relatively brief, but what this opportunity is probably, I guess, the week before last, a professor of engineering from the University of Vermont, whose name is John Lenz, he had reached out to us at the Windham Regional Commission asking if we had any potential project ideas for students as part of what is called the senior capstone project. And what this is, as far as I understand it, is essentially the final piece of work for UVM engineering students, which is intended to, as closely as possible, simulate real world work experience. And part of that is working with municipalities on creating engineering designs for, various types of projects. And we were asked to, select a few different options that we thought might be appropriate for the students to work on, and that also might be valuable for towns in the region. And so this bridge, which I believe is bridge number 24, but the first bridge on Water Street, or on Depot Street at the intersection of Water Street, which, we're aware has some concerns about the condition, as well as, has been, a priority to a certain extent because of the flooding issues that obviously have, the repeated flooding challenges in this area of Jamaica. And so this was kind of short notice. He had reached out to us week before last, and then their course actually starts tomorrow, I think. And so we had to kind of come up with a few ideas relatively quickly. And so this was one of the projects that we had potentially suggested. And I had spoken with Greg just to gauge some initial interest from the town. And he had, given me kind of a preliminary go ahead. And so they are interested in taking on this project. I don't have a ton of details at the moment. My understanding is that the students are going to be, introduced and given a list of options in the next few days this week, and that then they'll be assigned based on their preference to one of the various projects, at which point a team of 4 students will, be tasked with designing, a new bridge in this location for Jamaica. And so we, I think, at the Windham Regional Commission just see this as really an excellent opportunity. This obviously is they're not professional engineering work at this stage, but it's really this is intended to simulate and be kind of the final piece of their education to propel them forward into the workforce, and is intended to be just a professional quality of engineering, and they're offering to do this, I mean, at no cost to the town. I mean, this is something that if you were to go out and hire a firm to take on this project, it would be a very expensive process. And so I think to have the opportunity to have that quality of work on a project that has been a priority for the town, at no cost, it's something that we wanted to move on as quickly as we could, and had suggested this project. And so that's kind of the spiel at the moment. As I said, I will have more details in the coming days. Assuming that this is something that the town is interested in moving forward with, you will be assigned, a team of 3 to 4 students. And then there will be a small, it's not a huge time commitment, I would say. I think that they would most likely like to have an initial meeting to, get background information about the location and the town and what the needs are, conduct a site visit at some point, and then we'll produce more or less what they call an alternatives analysis, which would be several potential different options or ways to address this problem. At which point the town would select the preferred option, and they would move forward with construction and engineering. I think that what we were told, I mean, the whole construction engineering process is complicated. There's a lot of stages, but they were talking in the range of 30 to 50% design by the spring, which I just have to say, working on a lot of transportation projects, that is extremely quickly to have that level of work done, and that this would really position the town to take the work that the UVM students do, and start thinking seriously, or you're having conversations about options to actually replace the structure. I think is going to give you a big leg up on future construction projects. And so that's the story for the moment, I would say. I guess I would just be, are there questions or?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So a couple quick questions, and then what do you need from us? There's a fair bit of information about the bridge and its current condition that is in the possession of VTrans.
Mm-hmm.
Through the university, can you gain access to that?
So I'm sorry, what was I just missed the first part of what you said.
Okay, no, absolutely. So the bridge has been the subject of some fairly extensive study by VTrans. And I know they have formal reports. Mm-hmm. I suppose it's possible some have been shared with us, but ideally, the team would have access to whatever VTrans has. Do you know if that's possible?
Okay, no, yeah, that is absolutely possible. I mean, those are, I think, documents that the town, should likely have been able to get copies of. I know that those connections aren't always made, but I think even absent the UVM project, that I can certainly reach out to probably VTrans District 2 and the inspection. There is publicly available an extensive inspection report that VTrans completed in 2023. It's on their website. It's not the easiest thing in the world to find. If you're like digging around in the website, you have to sort of go through all these menus and kind of know what you're looking for. But that I have a copy of that, and I had sent it to the UVM professor John already. I can certainly share that with the town as well if you don't have a copy of that.
Right. But there's also engineers' notes and other items that are associated with that type of work. That
yes. Okay.
So if there's anything, I guess I would just say, if it could be obtained, that would be great.
Okay, no, that's great.
The next question is whether the work that the team will do includes avenues for funding.
Yeah, so yes, I think that would be a piece, of the kind of final stages of the project. Thinking, I mean, that's a critical part of any of these engineering projects is, how do you think about actually, bringing them to construction? And I think is something that's an important part of the experience for the students and, simulating this professional environment. To identify what options there may be for funding, definitely.
Okay, and the team, my penultimate question, the team is supported by faculty, so they're
Yes.
supported, okay, great, so there's.
Yes, and I should say, so the professors, he unfortunately was not able to be at this meeting tonight, but I'm sure that he will be available to you as this process moves forward. His name is John Lenz. I guess he's been a professor of engineering at UVM for about 10 years, and prior to that, I'm forgetting exactly what his professional experience was, but he was a civil engineer in Vermont for many years prior to becoming a professor. Yes.
So then my last question is, what do you need from us? Do you need us to formally resolve to seek the selection of the whatever?
Yeah, I don't know if possible. I think that it's always good to have a paper trail. I think if if the board could formally resolve to move forward, then I can start the process of actually getting this moving and coordinating with the students and getting some initial meetings scheduled to actually start discussions about what the needs are here, and what the town would be looking for.
Okay, so I'm going to make a resolution. We can obviously continue to discuss it after that. I will make a motion that the town of Jamaica approves seeking to have Bridge 24, we'll just check the number on that, the bridge at the corner of Depot Street and Water Street become the subject of a final project of a team of students at the University of Vermont.
I'll second.
Thank you. All right, Paul?
What a question for discussion. Rather than seeking it, allowing them to use it.
I defer to Colin as to what the.
I don't. I think it's not probably critically important, but yeah, I guess I would say you're allowing maybe a better way to phrase it because it's already kind of the initial steps have already been taken and they have requested that they be. So I may agree with the gentleman.
So change the resident.
From seeking to allowing.
Okay.
And I think it's
Okay.
I can work with that if I need.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. Thank you, Colin. And the other thing I think maybe just to mention is that their level of work in the past for this type of project has been, phenomenal, and to the point where it's going to be spell checked, so to speak, or whatever. But you also had mentioned that they had done some of the preliminary work on the bridge in Brattleboro and the Hinsdale Bridge and a few. So it's a very credible program. It's not like we're going to have to. I mean, we'll be well down the road for doing the engineering, which will ultimately save us some money.
That would be great. Okay. Seeing no further discussion, I'll call the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Terrific. Thank
Aye.
you, Colin.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I will be back in touch with next steps, and I'm looking forward to this. I think this is really a great. We were very excited to hear from them, so I think this is great. And I appreciate you having me.
Fingers crossed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The next order of business is to review and approve the compost collection agreement with Windham Solid Waste Management Division. What are you presenting on that, or? Oh,
No, I
who
would
do we
say
have?
Kate.
Who do we have?
Kate
Kate is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kate.
It looks good to me. It's pretty much everything we agreed to do initially. I was happy to see that they're offering compost for the citizens at, what was that? It was a lower rate than they would be able to purchase. I didn't keep it up here, but so yeah, it looked good to me.
Okay, we've all seen it. I will make a motion to approve the compost collection agreement presented to the town of Jamaica by Windham Solid Waste.
Second.
Thank you. Seeing no further discussion, I'll call the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great. So the next item is just a quick one to say that the Planning Commission has completed an amendment to the town plan. I have access to it. I don't know if it's actually, it's a big document. It is redlined. And I believe the redlined version is also on, is it on the website, Mary?
That I
Don't know. Okay.
I did not put it, but Sarah may.
Might have. All right, I'll double check that. But in the next, I mean, it's not a tomorrow thing, but we should all take a peek at the red line version. I was not able to access it for my computer, so John Van Hoosen, how does he pronounce his last
I think so. That's
Okay.
Yeah.
He sent a link to my Gmail so that I could see it on my computer rather than having to
Okay.
look
Yeah, I
at
haven't
it
seen
on the
it.
website. Okay,
No,
all right,
there's a lot of
all right.
stuff.
So that's coming, we need to get it through select board by the end of September. All right, so I think most of the people here are on the next sort of business. Thank you everyone for being patient. And that is, I was asked to add a discussion of the Act 250 application relating to the property located at 4769 Pikes Falls Road. And I thought maybe someone from the Planning Commission was going to be here, but they are not. But I see a lot of folks. Does someone want to take a point and kind of go right ahead?
Sure. So I guess I'll start us off. My name is David Ennis. I live at 4659 Pikes Falls Road. I've lived there both full-time and part-time for the better part of the last decade. I just can't make up my mind where I want to be all the time, so tend to go back and forth. I'm the adjoining landowner. I own both the lot that my house is on as well as another lot intermediary to my lot and the Act 250 lot in question. And I'm here basically to comment on Act 250 as well as state my opposition to the plan as it currently stands, but also support a potential resolution to the development that was brought forth by Mr. Wren, which I believe everyone's aware of, and that's offering the acquisition of the land to the town. So first and foremost, initially this was a plan that was set forth for a 3-bedroom house with an ADU. It was always going to be an Airbnb, a full-time rental, everything like that. I have no opposition to a single-family home going in next door. I welcome it to the neighborhood. I think it adds to the character of the neighborhood. It aligns with the town plan in general. Since that time, after surveying an Act 250 and drawing the lines for the wetlands, it has become undevelopable in that form and now has changed to semi-permanent buildings, which I believe are attractive buildings. I like the way that they look. What I do not support is the fact that they have no running water and they would require an adjacent porta potty as well as an exterior trash facility that sits outside. I think everyone's well aware of the natural beauty of Pikes Falls. If you're not aware of it, you can look at the picture right behind you up on the wall. We know the high traffic of that area. We know about the cemetery that is both historic and still in use. There is a gravestone in there that's as recent as 2023. I don't believe that a temporary or semi-permanent development with porta potties and trash cans is conducive to the town plan or the way that that specific parcel should be used overall. I think that it invites people more to come onto that land. I own the large plot in between. I find campfires. I find illegal camping already as it is. I think that while its intended purpose is going to be short-term rentals, we'll find more people coming down. It will increase foot traffic. It will increase erosion for all the things that we laid out with Act 250, right? Over the course of time, I've become fairly friendly with Mr. Wren. I respect his position. I want him to be successful overall. I think we just want to see success in two different ways. I know that Mr. Wren has approached the town with an offer to sell the lot overall. I believe, and I think that my neighbors believe as well, and I'll let them speak, I don't want to speak for everyone, that that would be the best possible outcome. I think if the town were to buy the land, we could preserve the access to the cemetery, preserve the access safely to the waterfall, while potentially providing an upgrade in the form of perhaps temporary parking, making it more safe. I think everyone in this room is familiar with how crowded it gets and how unsafe it can be around blind turns, people in the road, animals, children, and I think that this would help everyone overall. So I am in full support of the town purchasing the land, and hopefully that's taken under consideration. And I thank you.
So just in any order, I mean, I think everybody should please, share.
I think David said everything we've all been thinking. We've had a few weeks to chat this over in our own homes and amongst, our neighbors. And I think we all feel similarly. We are nervous about the current request for use for that land right now.
Right.
Again, just for all the same reasons that David had mentioned, and then moving forward into the possibility of the town purchasing the land to have some off-street parking so that it would be safer for people who come to visit the falls. So he really did say it as far as Glenn and I are concerned.
Okay. I'm seeing a lot of faces. Karen?
Hi, I had been involved somewhat because I'm sexton of the cemetery there. And each of the plans, there's been a couple of plans, and they've all worked out very well for the cemetery. The town went through and added a little SurePack because the road was getting pretty bad. But I also feel that this is their land and they should be able to do what they want to it. And just having porta potties and a dumpster or something like that there, I don't think is a large enough argument to keep this from happening. The cabins are wonderful. Is it 2 or 3 cabins?
3. Yeah.
3. And you've seen the
Yeah.
plans for them. They're really sweet and nice. And having people there on the property should maybe help control things a little bit too, I would think. But I'm all for it. It's your property. You should do what you want for the most part, unless it's something really bad.
Right. So just to, I think everybody in this room is familiar, but for those watching either now or after the meeting. So there is Jamaica itself as a town does not have a zoning ordinance. Our sole zoning is floodway zoning. So the process that's being undertaken right now is one that's at the state level. Towns like Jamaica that don't have a zoning ordinance are, in essence, deferring to the state under Act 250. So the hearing that took place was with the state. The town weighed in, so to speak, based on an analysis handled by the Planning Commission. That's all public. It was discussed at the Planning Commission and then discussed here a few meetings ago. The select board did sign that letter. Chris Robbins gave testimony, did he? Or did he not? He did. He was going to, and then I thought there was something at the meeting, it didn't turn out to be quite what he had anticipated in terms of format, but, and I would say the viewpoint that he expressed is a little bit closer, Karen, to, those that have been shared, by the other two, but not necessarily one way or the other, full stop. And so now the decision in terms of whether the permit amendment is approved sits with the state. Just want to make that very clear. So this conversation is more about whether and to what extent the town could respond to the offer to purchase, because then you could withdraw your, if there was an angel buyer out there, you could withdraw the permit request. And I think someone was mentioning, we were talking about the fact that there have been areas in other towns. One example that was presented was the quarry in Dorset, which kind of, really struggled. But there was an angel purchaser there. The town of Dorset didn't, they don't have the money and they didn't offer the money. It was actually bought by a private person, which is fantastic. So I have a quick question for the group. This is a large group. Has there been any discussion of a private consortium coming together, which I have seen in other towns? Because you know where I'm going with this. There's obviously nothing in the budget this year. Because of the size of the education tax, our municipal budget is under enormous pressure to stay where it is. So we'd be looking at a bond, and some of the folks here in the room have been through that you probably remember the last time we did a bond. It's not easy, it's not impossible, but it's a real challenge. So funding from the town is very difficult. It's very difficult. But if there were a consortium, has there been any kind of discussion of that, or?
Haven't gotten to that point. A whisper, but not a serious conversation.
Okay.
I have a question for you, sir, English speaker.
Yeah.
Have you looked into any kind of, other than the town purchaser? There are lots of agencies out there to buy land to keep it in its pristine form.
I have not, but I'm not the owner of the land. So that might fall with Mr. Wren, who's behind you. He owns the land. But I'd be certainly willing to help and do some research and look for anything to that effect to help him out.
Right.
Would you be open to having it just be nature-based,
I would prefer it just to be nature-raised, yes.
not parking lot
Right.
by the town?
So I
Absolutely.
think what you're suggesting is a land trust,
Yeah,
purchasing the land.
I'm suggesting
Right.
anything other than
Oh.
the town buying it for
Okay.
parking lot.
Okay. Yeah, you can take a peek. I practice in that area. I suspect it's too small. And it's not in, the land trusts in the state of Vermont they're looking in a different direction, but I'm happy to give you a list of some land trusts that you could reach out to.
I'll gladly take it,
Yeah.
and I'd love to reach out.
Yeah. They're looking more for donations than to make purchases from outright land. So I'm gonna be frank, it's great. It's such a great program, and Vermont is one of the absolute leading states in terms of conserved land. It's extraordinary, actually, how much land is conserved in Vermont. And at one time, that would have, in fact, we just, as a town, Northeast Wilderness Trust just purchased a huge tract of land here in Jamaica, and that will now be conserved in perpetuity. So, but I don't want to discourage you too much. I'm going to send you a list of names. I just want you to go into it with your eyes wide open in that term. I'm not sure what other agencies buy land for conservation other than land trusts, but they may be out there. So I don't know. That doesn't mean certainly does not mean they don't exist.
Maybe somebody's got a rich uncle hiding somewhere.
Well, there is that too. That's what happened in Dorset,
What's the price that is being talked about?
That would be up to Mr. Wren.
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Tyler Wren. This is my wife Rebecca. So we're the landowners of the property in question here. So thank you for all your comments. We just wanted to listen and address any concerns. So and thank you for explaining the process too. It's not a forum to decide what happens. It's the state's decision, and they have extra scrutiny, more scrutiny than most towns. Act 250 does. So it's the plan that we put forth is in accordance with all the state environmental standards and everything. So very respectful of the falls, and we're certainly aware of the issue and the town's issue with the falls and the crowding and the parking and everything that goes on there, and we're certainly sensitive to that, and we don't feel this will add to that. And we want to be good neighbors in the town, so that's where we're coming from, and try to make good on this investment that we put into this piece of land. So we offered to the town for $150,000.
How big is it?
It's 1.5 acres thereabouts. So it's we were under contract 2 years ago for a price higher than that, so I think this is a very reasonable, fair market value. So So that was the proposal that our real estate agent sent to the town.
Thank you.
And I think our initial reaction had nothing to do with the purchase price. It was just simply, it could have been more or less than that. It's just whether the town has the funds. And, yeah. And the pressure to accommodate that in next year's budget, you know, it would be a very significant percentage of our municipal budget. And again, you know, while we certainly hope the education budget is going to come under control, there's no expectation that this coming year it's going to be very different from where, you know what I mean? Everybody's gotten their tax bill. So I'm saying even for, you know, the next cycle, the 25, 26, 27 year, I don't see it coming down. Maybe the year after that. I mean, knock on wood, if Governor Scott
Yeah, so we
is successful.
We expect Act 250 to issue a permit, you know, at some point in the next few months here. So I would be certainly willing to work with David and anyone else who wants to try to be creative about finding another solution, because we, like I said, we want to be good members of the community. We don't want people that our neighbors to not like the development, but you know, we need to proceed in some direction. So we're certainly open to working with people if they have ideas and want to chat with us. So.
Please.
Yeah, my name is Michael DiSabato. I'm a neighbor around the corner on Dalewood Road. I thought this would be a good time to just bring up, take aside if the town cannot buy the property, just the amount of people that are there and like the usage of the falls and the trash and littering that I'm picking up every day that when I go there. And I don't know if this has been like brought up with the town at all.
So you're not commenting on the Act 250 permit right now? This is more of a general comment?
Yeah, general comment, because I thought it had all to do with the usage of the falls and everything. And I'm just curious if the town has talked about like limited parking there on the street or doing anything with, you know, there's upwards of 100 people that are at that falls at a given hour on a Saturday and Friday, and that's pretty abusive to the land. And
can you stay a little bit longer, because we do have a public comment section where that would be perfect for it.
Yeah, of course.
And we'll, you know, and we really have very little in between now and that. So if we just stay like literally 5, maybe 10 minutes,
Sure.
We'll have an open discussion. Okay, great. Anything else on the permit amendment? All right, seeing none, I'm going to move to the next item of business, which is procuring the replacement covered container, or as we say, the doghouse, for the transfer station. Is that Kate also? Kate, you've got a busy night.
I just have the understanding that we really need to replace it. It was something that was under discussion, I think, before I was the liaison several years ago, and Casella gave us a quote that was very high for repair, and their opinion is that it's not worth repairing, and we really should replace it.
Okay, and we're gonna move on a specific proposal, correct?
I don't think there is a specific proposal right now. Is there? I mean, just to add a little bit of preliminary and add to what Kate had said. We did purchase a new one 2 years ago, so there's 2 of them there, obviously. Now this is the second one that's deteriorated. I don't believe the part of it's an issue with purchasing it, because Casella doesn't have this type of container in their rotation.
Right.
So we can't just lease one, and we prefer to have the covered container. I don't know if now to address what you asked, I don't know that we've gone out and asked for quotes this second time. 2 years ago we did, and it was about $12,000.
I thought we received.
Do we have a quote?
Maybe I'm remembering from 2 years ago, but I thought.
We have a quote for repair.
Oh, that was only.
The total repairs, it would exceed 10,000. So.
Right.
And Casella recommends that we purchase or rent a replacement.
I seem to recall that there are not many providers.
Right, there's at least 2, I think.
Oh, there are still 2?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I think last time we received 2. I did research that real quickly just tonight before the meeting, but I think there was 2 bids last time.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion that we seek as many bids as we can obtain in compliance with our procurement policy to replace the second covered container at the transfer station.
Second.
All right, any discussion of that?
Do you have anything else, Kate? I'm sorry to jump in. I guess we hadn't shared the notes. We had planned the meeting. But
Yeah, no.
That's what I can call from before, yeah.
I'm seeing the email now from David Allen, and it's they came up with 14,788. So, and that's not including taxes. So, yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what they cost new or to rent.
12,000 2 years ago was probably pretty.
Right. My understanding also from reading the note from Casella was that they were not feeling with high confidence that the repair would actually accomplish the goals.
Right.
So it seemed like a no-brainer. All right, seeing no further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Who was the second motion?
Great.
I say.
Okay, with that, we'll go through the two, 7 and 8. So the next order of business, I will make a resolution to approve the timesheets for the staff in the town office, the listers, the highway crew, and the transfer station.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments on those, questions, discussion? Seeing none, yes?
I haven't been to a meeting in a long time, but when I was here last, I specifically asked and was gently shown the list of the warrant items, or whatever you call them.
Okay,
And we talked publicly about, could the board put that out as part of their agenda or somehow publish it? The response I got was, oh, it's in the public record, or it's in the clerk's office. I'm again asking, can this list be made part of the weekly routine?
it is, it's on every meeting. Is that what you mean, is can it be on the agenda every meeting?
No, can you put the list out of the figures, so transparency, so the citizenry can know what's being paid?
Oh, you're saying for our pay orders? For
The pay orders or for the timesheets?
So whatever you're paying tonight, next night, last week,
There's 2 items, so I think actually
Right.
our wires are crossed a little bit. The one right now is just for our staff, for their
For
hours,
their
and
pay.
their time, for
For
their
their
time
pay.
sheets. The
Right,
second one is what I'm thinking what you're questioning,
warrants,
which which is, we're not to that yet,
right,
but I
right,
think that's what you're asking.
okay.
yes,
So this first motion is for,
just paying
just for
their
our
wages.
payroll.
We actually have to approve wages every 2 weeks, even though it doesn't change, really. Yeah.
It's what we pay our staff.
Right. Okay. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, I'll call the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, so probably this one, I'll make a motion and then we can open it for discussion. I will make a motion to approve the pay orders as they have been collected and were residing today in the office. And I can have a second. Thank you. So please, now, I think this is what you were referring to. So when we pay it, if someone submits an invoice for work or goods or services provided to the town, okay. So they do come in, Mary can participate in this if she wishes, but they come in over the 2 weeks that lead up. And we are thin staff. They are collected and available for review the day of the meeting. I don't know that we really have the resources to do something beyond that. I'm not sure what exactly you're asking.
I literally entered all of the invoices for this 2-week period today and finished entering those invoices in the computer by 3 o'clock. And then there's still a few other steps that happen in order to create the warrant that the select boards.
And do you put them in the public record anywhere?
They're entered into the NIMRIC computer program, which is our accounting program that the town uses. So, I would assume.
It's all part of the public record, you can come look at it. I mean, we don't post everything to the website, I mean, just like we don't post land records, we don't post lots and lots of stuff to the website. So they are available.
Actually, the land records, you can go through the website.
But I mean, just in general, not everything is on the website, if that's what you're referring to. If you wanted to walk into the office and look at what is getting paid every week or every 2 weeks, you can certainly do that.
Yeah, you can look through the folder right
I
now.
understand that comment. My comment is, this is a public meeting, and the people in this town are now being told they have to come twice. Once to the meeting to not hear anything about this topic, and go and access it at the town hall.
Well, that's, I think, part of the diligence of being a townsperson. I mean, we can't bring everybody every piece of information. I mean, it'd be impossible that if I walked down the street and went around to every resident to say, here's the pay order for the week. I mean, we have to, I think, accept that you would need to come in and look at it.
Yeah, it's here and it's available for review if desired, I guess.
There's probably no point in
And then it's all
saying
part of
that.
the annual report that we generate.
And then it's all.
Probably every,
Right.
yeah, and probably every town does it this way. I doubt that any town actually puts them on their websites, right? So it's not like they're
larger
different.
towns have different resources than we do. I'm just trying to think of some of my clients. So yeah, I have to look into that, Kate. I don't know. Certainly, small towns like Jamaica that have
A free website. with
right,
limited
exactly, very
storage.
limited staff and resources. No, but I don't want to say like Montpelier doesn't. Like Montpelier might, even Bennington might, but they have a staff of like 25 people, and they have 5 committees of the board. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to say they don't, but towns comparable to Jamaica, yeah, I would say yeah. Any further comment on the warrants? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Great. So now is the time. So please, no, that's okay. That's exactly what public concerns is for. So please just share the concern and then let's talk about it.
Yeah, kind of like I said earlier, I'm pretty concerned with the traffic that is at the falls, the amount of cars. I live right up the road and pass by the falls probably 4 times a day, and there's upwards of 40 to 50 cars on a busier day there, which to me would allocate about 100 people. No one really drives there alone. Sometimes it's families of like 6 in the car. And yeah, when you're coming around the 2 blind corners, there's beach balls that come across, and dogs and kids and pool floats. And the other day I was dead on face on with a guy who was completely out of his car with the door open, seeing if he could fit parallel parking into one of the spots, and didn't give anyone access to, even go around him going the opposite way. And just like the amount of cars on the road, the erosion on the side of the road, and then the amount of people that are using the falls, I think is not great for the land, for the retaining all the nature values there. Every time I'm there, I'm bringing gloves and a trash bag with me and picking up used diapers and cups, and there's illegal fires there all the time. And you brought up the Dorset Quarry earlier. I don't really think is comparable, but I like to bring up like Hamilton Falls as an example, which is another waterfall in our town. It's obviously in the Jamaica State Park, which has different things, and there's park rangers involved and other, I'm sure, laws that I don't know about. But they were able to, put up some no parking signs and make it a 4-spot kind of deal, which I think is totally manageable on Jamaica's property in front of the falls there, and kind of limiting the amount of people that'll be able to park there. I just think it'll be safer for everyone driving on the road. We're pretty fortunate that a bad accident hasn't happened, but I go around cautiously, but it's a 35-mile-per-hour road, and people who don't know that's there are coming around that corner blind, and I think that should be a topic of concern for the town.
Okay. This is a big Pikes Falls group here, so others want to share or?
Yeah, I can kind of go on top of that to reiterate a lot of things that was said, but safety is the main concern. The amount of cars that are there, just with everything he was saying. I do think it is something manageable where you can put something there to either, I like the idea of possibly putting a parking lot there. I know a lot of people are scared of the idea of a parking lot, but it's already, basically a parking lot, there's just grass there, you just flatten it, put dirt. If that isn't an applicable thing, then doing something with the parking on the street, because like he says, it does turn into a one-way lane at times, and then when you have a car coming one way, another one coming the other way, generally it's not a good thing to happen, especially with cars.
Head on, you have to back up like 20 cars, whoever's like closer.
Yeah, it gets pretty hectic.
I grew up here.
It's kind of ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, this
basically-
only just started happening like 6 years ago when when
Yeah, it's because Stratton put it in there.
in the magazine, we all know, yeah.
Oh, it's cool.
And COVID, yeah, right.
And social media, COVID, all that stuff. But like, yeah, prior to that, you can go there on a Saturday at noon and there'd be one Vermont plate there. And it was absolutely beautiful. And I think we should try to get it back to something like that. When it's mainly like the safety and the trash. The trash is crazy that's there.
Others?
I picked up dirty diapers this morning off of our property that someone had thrown when they parked their car off the.
They just threw it out.
It's nuts, yeah.
I mean, I pick up poop bags coming out of the state park.
State
on
park,
our
yeah,
property
you know
all
the
the
deal.
time. I mean, I'm not
No,
saying
no,
it's
I
great,
know,
it's
we're all-
horrible,
we're
and
all
it's
dealing with
it's
it,
horrible.
Yeah, I picked up a bunch of trash this morning. I go daily along with everyone else, and I had to make a pile this morning and go back home and get a bigger trash bag. And when I did, David Plants had actually stopped in the school bus, and he was throwing things into the garbage on the school bus. And I said, "I'm coming with the bag." He's like, "I got it." So, it's cool. But yeah, it has definitely increased, and yeah,
Right.
it's just.
So the last time we looked at this in earnest was at the planning commission, you'll remember, and that led to some changes to the town parking ordinance, parking and traffic ordinance, which I think was really, to your point, more focused on Hamilton Falls than Pikes Falls. We did make a change at Pikes Falls, but it sounds like maybe that's not enough and this needs to be revisited. So traffic is one way, that's a lever that we have. In terms of the geography, there's not to create a little parking area, at least, when we last looked at this, and Greg might remember more, but there isn't an area for that. That's
Even just the side of the road and allowing like 4 cars just on the side of the road there.
I think the issue then comes up is then you need almost full-time policing, and you could put signs, you could put 4 spaces and say there's only 4 spaces, but what's to stop somebody?
There wasn't, on town-owned land. There was not room when we looked at it last. I mean, that doesn't mean you don't look at it again.
Yeah.
But
I think something is needed, I'm not disagreeing with that, but it's hard to
Like
place it.
Windham County Sheriff loved to go sit there and just collect ticket and money.
Right.
We could buy this.
So
They was doing that at the bottom of Fraser's in Pikes Falls for a while,
Right.
and that one new cop came around and.
Right.
So it's not like it's in their jurisdiction.
So that's
they're over
something
there
that
and-
can happen right now. I mean, Pikes Falls is on the, in the contract that we have with the sheriff's office, and Andy's our liaison, he couldn't make it tonight to the meeting. But it's definitely in the mix of places that get, our items of, places of interest for the sheriff's department. But what might be helpful, I mean, I think it's sort of obvious, if we need to increase that and say, actually, and it's primarily weekend, or you're seeing?
It's all week now, yeah, it's any nice day.
This time of year.
Right, although concentrated more on the weekend maybe.
Definitely more on the
Yeah, more on
weekends,
weekends,
but
because
that week.
Tuesday, if
Right.
it's really nice, there'll be 15, 20 cars there.
Right, but to get to like that truly concentrated time where we would want, a sheriff's car there to make people move. It sounds like the weekend, and at the very least, Andy and/or I will talk to the sheriff, to Mark Anderson, and just say, this is where we're really needing, certainly we're coming into a holiday weekend, so we can certainly make a call. It's not a permanent solution, but, something to focus on for right now. But I think it's time to go back to the planning commission and say, okay, what we did kind of worked for a while, but it sounds like it's not. And what I'll do is, if we can also kind of get a show there. I'll talk to Brian Zeroff, who's your neighbor. I will. On the rest
Yeah, we were able to hear last week for the planning commission.
Right. So we want you, like, I want to give him an opportunity to put it on the calendar. It's actually a perfect time to do it because it hopefully will be a little quieter as the weather gets cooler. But memories are fresh of what the issue was and what the hours were like, and ideas are fresh. So I'll see if he can put this on in September and ask kind of get the band back together and come and kind of share those thoughts. And let's see if maybe it's amending the parking ordinance.
What is the
signage.
current parking ordinance, out of curiosity?
So I don't have it in front of me, but there's a separate, we treated Pikes,
I don't think there's anything, like, we've all said, it's the Hamilton Falls was very specifically addressed because it was, partly because it was state parkland, but also because the road was narrower and it was hard to define what the traveled lanes were. So technically, there's state statute that says you can't park in the traveled lane. So there's already existing law that doesn't have to be in our parking ordinance. So there's nothing specific to Pikes Falls in our ordinance.
Right, which is what was brought up last time, was that everyone was supposed to have all 4 tires on the
Which is
free
So
side of the white
enforcement,
line.
enforcement is real. It's a real
That's
option.
impossible in front of Robbins and Tyler's property. It's clearly they're on the road.
Right. So it's easy to enforce and say, hey, your ticket.
That'd be great.
So I don't think we did some additional signage, but we could do more. We could do something closer to what we do at Hamilton Falls. And did we state fines?
No, there's nothing there now, so.
Right.
Hamilton Falls, I don't think the fines are stated on the signs.
They're not?
I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
I don't
I know we discussed it.
Right.
But you don't even necessarily have to state what the fine is. The law doesn't require that, but you can say you can be fined. Which tends to be a more economical way to do the signage because if you change the signage, change the amount of the fine. So I think all of those. So certainly we'll talk to the sheriff's department and say we really need to focus on Pikes Falls over the next 10 days at the very least.
Yeah, the weather's good.
Fortunately, it's getting colder.
Yeah.
I did look at the weather this weekend, and it's like, for everybody else, it's like, oh, damn, it's going to be cold. But I think for you guys, it's like, oh, thank God,
And
it's
now
going to be cold.
Now the schools are going back earlier everywhere, even
Right.
here. Now there's, once the second week of August is finished, everybody's going back to school.
So there's
a
some
little less traffic
relief.
all
Right.
over
Right.
our region, I think,
Right.
because of that.
Right.
But
It's still, what traffic there is gets concentrated in places like Pikes Falls. It's true. It's on every social media. Where Christine and I live, it's like, there's not nearly as well traveled as Pikes Falls, but we do get our share of, so I understand that. So, watch out for the agenda, and, we'll try to push it out a little bit prominently on the website, and Karen, also manages the Facebook page for the town of Jamaica, so we'll push the agenda, the planning commission agenda out follow the Jamaica page, and that way you'll see what day, and then, like I said, voices help.
Planning commission would be the next step to.
Yes, if there's gonna be a change in the ordinance, for sure. And certainly, if there were gonna be some effort to make a more formal parking area, that's, planning commission, for sure.
But what we'll do now too is we'll reach out to the sheriff's department just to kind of
Yes.
elevate it in
Oh,
his
yeah.
mind to say, increase
For the
the
remainder of
surveillance
this
there.
holiday
I'll
season.
get some ticket money out of it.
Yeah.
And that goes a long ways too. I mean, not just the immediate impact of raising some revenue, but once people say, hey, wait a minute, I can't park like this anymore, and it will gradually dissipate.
That, I'll be honest, that kind of activity by the sheriff's department does not generally yield much revenue. It's really more about making people leave. They're not, speeding tickets are, have to say it, those tend to be the revenue generators, but it doesn't matter. We pay for the service, and I know the sheriff's department is very happy to go, they're looking for us to tell them where there are hot spots. So
We can stop people from speeding on our road too.
that's true.
35 is
That's
the
true.
zone.
They could, but what you really want there is someone not catching a speeder. You want someone actually managing the crowd
Yes.
there. So that's not a, revenue, but that's a, like I said, doesn't matter that it's not a revenue generator.
Either way,
It's-
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Any other, anything else on that
No, I think that's
Okay,
addressed my
great.
concerns.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're still in public concerns, okay?
Andy Avery. I wrote you a letter, I don't know, about 6 weeks ago about the town hall.
I
Yes.
have an update on that.
Was that?
Very much, I have an update on the trees.
Oh, because I've never heard anything, and so, just for the rest of you, a number of years ago, when the town hall was in terrible disrepair, they got together and we got a ton of grants and loans, and we got the town hall restored. And it was good, it's fabulous. Well, now needs some work, paint for one. But if you'll notice, we have those two enormous maple trees in front. They almost block the view. And as I wrote them, a lot of the branches are actually hitting the building, which is the worst for the building. And I said, at least you could have someone trim those branches so they're not hitting the town hall. I offered to even help pay for that. But I would think if we could cut those back.
Well, you can stop, you don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
We
This has been the
took
second
we took your request immediately that day.
Right, and we've actually it's been on the agenda for 2 meetings.
We put it out to
We
bid
don't-
as our
right.
procurement policy requires, so it wasn't like, oh, get it fixed tomorrow.
Yeah.
We got 3 bids in, we accepted a bid, and I just had a message today, Michael Longo's gonna do it.
He's the guy.
We had several bids, we had everything from trim them to take them down.
Yeah.
It's easier to take them down after they're trimmed than to trim them after they're taken down. We're gonna start with trimming, see that it works, if it works. And Michael actually just sent me a text today that he's hoping to start this week. He's gonna coordinate with Sarah, just to make sure there's no users in there and that kind of thing. He's aware that there's power lines going through there, so he's gonna try to sculpt them the best that he can, pull them away from the building. It's not just visually impeding the building, but it's helping the building will like it by not having trees on it.
I didn't even have to come.
You did.
Yeah. So Andy, just so that you know, we do take it in, and the way we operate, we put it on the agenda and we discuss it in a meeting. So if you can look at the agendas, you can watch afterwards, you can zoom in. You don't have to come, although you're pretty close.
Right.
You could come. And we always like contributors. We are not going to necessarily push that out to individual citizens. We're all volunteers. So
Understand.
we take that role very seriously.
Yeah.
So if you are concerned, always just check an agenda, peek at a meeting, or write us again and say, by the way, anything happened? Because that's easier for me. If I get another email or if I see one, I circulate it to the board and then one of us can shoot out a note.
Great.
So, yeah.
All done, thank you. That's
Karen?
serendipitous.
I just wanted to say that we had a very successful Jamaica Day.
Yes, it is.
A team of people working. It took a village to make it all happen. Special thanks to our Sheriff Mark Anderson for allowing us to have a parade this year. So that was wonderful.
Close the portal. Yes, he worked his magic for that, and it was perfect.
The Civil War reenactors had a wonderful time. They had hundreds of visitors. They said sometimes they go to an event and there's like 12, and
Oh, God.
so they were very happy. They plan to be back every 2 years.
Fantastic.
Next year is the 250th of the United States. So we're trying to find reenactors from the American Revolutionary War. So, and we'll try to have an encampment for that.
Right.
And then the next year is the 250th of Vermont.
Yeah.
So we'll try to the Civil War reenactors will be back for that, but we'll try to focus on.
So are you thinking of sticking with August as a date? It did seem.
It is, it's the third
pretty
Saturday of August
Okay,
every year.
okay. So we're not gonna push it to
No.
September? Yeah, I mean, I think that worked out really well.
It was a hot day, but it was great.
Right, but it was really well attended and, yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
I know. Anecdotally, everyone I spoke to had a fabulous time. It was really, the music was great
Yes.
and
We had
the
a great food court in River and Rise parking lot.
trucks
That worked out
were
well.
great, absolutely.
And lots of vendors, 30
Right.
plus vendors.
And it was really nice, the memorial, that was
Yes.
really, really nicely done. So thank you for that.
But we
That
still
was-
have to install that, but we
Right,
have
but
the
the-
plaque.
The plaque and also just the comments and, you know, really very moving, so.
And I don't think any windows broke
Cannon.
from the
Cannons.
cannons going off.
Yeah, it's really wild. They were fantastic.
They were.
I mean, young and old,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, it was good.
It was really, they were so, all of them, I mean, whatever you can convey to them. I mean, I personally enjoyed my time there and I heard from dozens of people, just,
Good.
you know, talking to the women about what they were wearing and what a day was like. It was really, they're very knowledgeable and really dedicated people.
Oh, very much
yeah,
so.
genuine. So.
And they're there 90 degrees in
Yeah.
wool clothes. And the ladies are in multiple layers.
Yes.
Of
Yeah.
dresses and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah. Paul?
I request your permission to thank somebody who does not like to be thanked.
No
names.
I'm not giving you permission because that person does not want to be thanked, so.
There was a team of us, it was great.
Yeah.
I give you permission,
So,
Polly.
There were 3 of us, Hetty Allen
Yes.
and Judy Brown, and we were very dedicated every week in planning it. And then there were other people who came in toward the end, but all the organizations, the fire department, the church was doing things.
Right.
It was great.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
because of you.
These things.
You should have fun, Karen.
The foundation does a great job.
These things do not happen
Right. Without leadership.
Exactly.
without a head.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It was good.
No thanks to you.
Right, we're not gonna.
Any other public comments?
I have a comment. This is Madeline.
Oh, hi,
Hi.
Madeline. Nice to meet you.
I know. I joined.
You could have come in.
I know. I was just late, and so I felt more embarrassed walking in late than joining Zoom late. But my comment is that there are signs on Route 30 that I'm sure all of us have seen, and I just wondered if they have gone through the sign permitting process because they're not super welcoming to visitors and occupants like neighbors that live in Jamaica. I think that some of the signs are on private property, but I read the sign ordinance today and it really is just about being welcoming to everybody. And these signs aren't welcoming at all. They're really combative. So I just wondered if that had been talked about or if those signs had been like actually permitted to be up. And some of them are also on power poles, which are definitely not the person, whoever puts them up. It's definitely not their property because it's a power pole. So I just wanted to ask about that and see if that had been addressed at all.
Yes, it has, but it's underway, and I'm not sure if what I'm thinking of is the same thing that you're thinking of. So it helps the board if you just drop us an email saying what you saw and asking about it in particular. But there are signs actually in the village center that have not gone through the sign ordinance approval process. In the instance that I'm thinking of, that has been made known to the landowner, and there are, I'll leave it at that for now. But it does help. It helps if a citizen is concerned to raise it and to do it in an email. That would be great.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else online?
Nobody else on this.
Okay.
No.
One more little thing, Wednesday night, 6 to 8 will be the Sidewalk Social in front of Peacock Outfitters, so please join us. Bring a chair,
Yes.
bring
And
pizza, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Just come.
And if anybody here who's like on Pikes Falls has not come down to the village from Pikes Falls, it's quite an evening. It's great. There's always music. You can bring your own, whatever you want to bring. There's food and pizza available from the market, of course, and bring a folding chair, listen to music, chat with your neighbors, gripe about Pikes Falls. Really, anything goes, absolutely. And I think I can't remember, was it there last week? I forget, I feel like there was one week.
I was gone on Wednesday.
Right. I think there was 1 week where it wasn't happening, but for so long as the weather holds out, my understanding from Andy is that it'll just keep going, so absolutely. Yes.
We've been fortunate with no rain on Wednesday nights.
I know, it's like weird, it happens on the weekends, huh? And right now we're in a drought, right, so rain would be welcome. Okay, anything else?
May I say one thing?
Please.
I would just like to say that it's far out, but on October 4th at Be Well Homestead, there will be a fundraiser for Miss Solar. As many of you may know, this is a local girl who is only 6 years old and she's battling cancer. So at Be Well Homestead, there will be live music. We are looking for more people to get involved. We're looking for additional food vendors, more musicians, and craft vendors. So that's October 4th, so if anyone is interested, you can reach out to me at Be Well Homestead or just via social media. And that'll be really great.
Thanks.
Starting around 4, going.
Oh, it's gonna be afternoon. And October 4th is a Saturday?
It's a Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have one more thing. Always. Saturday, I think it's a Saturday, August 29th. Is that Friday or Saturday?
I think it's Friday.
That's
Friday.
At
Yeah.
7 o'clock, Paul Sanchez will be at the Jamaica Town Hall. Enjoy a rare and intimate evening with a prolific New Orleans-based musician, singer, songwriter, and guitarist. So,
And are you
I've been
gonna?
recognized as a founding member of Cowboy Mouth.
Yeah. I was aware of that, but do you want to push it out again on the Facebook page?
I will.
Okay.
Did you
Right.
say the start is at 7 p.m.?
Starts at 7,
Okay.
And how much are the tickets?
$15. Should be great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Anything else, Karen?
No, I'm done.
Okay, you sure? You're allowed, there's no quota. All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We're going
Oh.
to executive session.
Oh, sorry, thank you. I couldn't with all the activity. Just to let everyone know, we're gonna go into executive session. What that means is we clear the room. We're not officially adjourning until after. Anybody is invited to come in after, but I don't anticipate that we're making a motion or having any business afterwards. So you could consider this officially the end of the official business of the meeting.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming. It's so great when we have a crowd, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Nice to see you.
We listened to you.
Yeah, it's good for after. Oh, well, no, because we're not gonna have any official business. So we'll just come out. We don't need to. I know, I'm gonna do it now, so don't, yeah.
No, right.
They're all serious.
No, exactly, yeah. No, but anyway, when you figure it
Bye.
out, you know, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
All right,
Thank you.
see you.
Okay. So I'm going to make a motion that we move to find that premature general public knowledge of a compliance issue would clearly place a private citizen of the town and the town itself at a substantial disadvantage, because the select board will be discussing sensitive matters, which if it discusses those in public, it will cause a disadvantage.
A second.
Thank you. Any discussion of that? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Are you gonna take any vote?
We
No,
just
that's
took a
what-
vote.